رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى للعبد إذا اغتنم رمضان تجلى وابتسم طوبى.
والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وبارك وسلم. أما بعد. Alhamdulillah, summa alhamdulillah. We are so fortunate that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, out of His mercy, He has blessed us and honored us to find the month of Ramadan. Many of us who were asking Allah ta'ala to give us the barakah of Rajab and Shaban and allow us to enter the month of Ramadan. Alhamdulillah, we have made it. And unfortunately, there were so many other people, brothers and sisters around the world who wanted to find Ramadan, but unfortunately, they left this world. Some left this world because of this pandemic, coronavirus as well. We make dua for them. And those who are suffering around the world, may Allah help them. So without further ado, today, I would like to talk about Taqwa. And I'm grateful for Rashad Academy for arranging this wonderful session. May Allah Ta'ala give me the benefit and all of you as well to get reward and benefit from this wonderful session. Now the ayat I recited in the beginning, Allah Ta'ala said in Surah Baqarah, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, all the believers, kutiba alaykumus siyam. The fasting has been made ordained or made obligatory for you, kama kutiba ala allazina min qablikum, as it was made ordained for the people of the past who came before you, so that la'allakum tattaqun, so that you can acquire taqwa. So this is the main objective of the month of Ramadan, the fasting, the end result, the outcome, the benefit of the fasting is to attain and acquire taqwa. So Allah has given us the whole month to practice the unique quality of taqwa. So we will talk about taqwa today. May Allah Ta'ala give us tawfiq. Wa tawfiq illa billah. First of all, let's discuss what is taqwa. What is the concept of taqwa? Now we find, I have a book in front of me. It's called Nadratun, a very popular book. It's like a dictionary and encyclopedia actually. In this book, they have arranged about 158 verses from the Quran, 47 Hadis. So taqwa is all over the Quran al-Karim. So taqwa, what does taqwa mean? To be honest, to say the meaning of taqwa in one word is not possible. Just to go near the meaning of taqwa, you can say, closer to the meaning is God consciousness. Always to be in the state, having the feeling that Allah Ta'ala is watching me, and be conscious that the presence of Allah Ta'ala, and having that, you refrain from bad deeds because He's watching me, Allah Ta'ala, and to please Him, you do good deeds. And this is the opinion we find from Mullah Ali Qari rahimahullah. He said that taqwa, in a nutshell, is all that good things are necessary to do them is taqwa, and also to refrain from all that is unnecessary and harmful, that is taqwa. Like Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma, he says that Ra'su dini at-taqwa. The main essence of the deen, the religion, is taqwa, being always conscious of Allah Ta'ala, and to out of his fear, you refrain from haram, unnecessary things, and to please him, you do all the good activities. So Allama Ibn Kathir rahimahullah, he mentions an incident. Of course, there are many narrations on this, also found from Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu as well. So, according to Ibn Kathir rahimahullah, he says that once Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu asked Ubay ibn Ka'ab. Ubay ibn Ka'ab radiallahu ta'ala anhu, being one of the most knowledgeable and well-versed in the Holy Quran in terms of the recitation and also the meaning as well. So Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu asked Ubay ibn Ka'ab radiallahu ta'ala anhu, what is taqwa? What is the concept of taqwa according to you? So he said, I'm saying the mafhum from my own word, that if you are treading on a path which are full of thorns, how would you cross that path? And so he said, and if you have your shawls with you, your kurta, and so he said, I will be very careful and keeping close to me my clothes so that no thorns or harmful things will touch me. So he said, this is the concept of taqwa. When you're leading your life, you keep away from haram things, harmful things, out of fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this month of Ramadan will teach us the concept of taqwa. For example, when we are fasting, even though we are alone at home or in the kitchen, nobody is watching us. We are free to eat or drink anything, but we don't. Why? Because we know if we drink or eat anything, our fast will be broken. If no one is watching me, but Allah Ta'ala is there, He's watching us. So out of fear, out of this consciousness that we do not eat or drink. So this is actually a wonderful training for us. So throughout the whole month of Ramadan, if we practice this and have this consciousness, we are always aware that Allah Ta'ala is watching us. Even though we are hungry and thirsty, we do not break it. We don't do things that goes against the rulings of Allah Ta'ala. We need to keep that after the month of Ramadan. So taqwa, according to found in the Shara, the commentaries of Ibn Majah, the ulama say taqwa, there are more or less 4 or 5 levels. So I've summarized into 5 levels, so that at the end of this session we can think about where we stand. We know the levels of taqwa and how we can try to improve ourselves, develop ourselves to higher levels of taqwa. May Allah Ta'ala give us tawfiq. The first level of taqwa, the ulama define, is al-ittiqa'u anil shirki, or istinabu anil kufur wa shirk, in another narration, meaning refraining from shirk, associating partners with Allah Ta'ala. Now this is called the darja of Islam. So basically all the Muslims, believers, we are all actually have this taqwa, and that's level number 1, basic, because we do not believe in more than one God. We don't believe in many gods. We all believe in La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. We acknowledge the fact that there is no one worthy of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now this is not easy. We manage, because there's amongst more than 7 billion people, only 1 point something billion people are Muslims. Can you see so many other people? They are well-educated, rich, and so much, successful people and intelligent people. They don't have this. Allah Ta'ala chose us and gave us the ability to refrain from shirk and kufr. So this is a great, achievement. So all the Muslims around the world who believe in oneness of Allah, who say La ilaha illallah, they all are muttaqi, but our level is the basic level, because we managed to refrain from the greatest of the sins, which is kufur and shirk. So our level becomes level Islam, darjatul or iman. Now, after achieving this, alhamdulillah, we all have this. Then the next level, the ulama say, al-ittiqa'u anil kaba'ir. Now, refraining and abstaining from all the major sins. Now, in level 2, I don't think many people around the world can claim this. Allahu Akbar. So, number 2 is a bit higher than number 1. Number 2 is refraining from haram activities. We know there are so many Muslims, but they don't pray. We have Muslims who only come to prayer on Fridays. We have Muslims who drink alcohol. We have Muslims who believe in Allah Ta'ala. They believe in oneness of Allah Ta'ala. They will die for, if something goes, someone rebukes or says something nasty to Allah and Rasul, they can die. However, they also do not pray. They consume alcohol and other things. So to reach the level 2, the process is to refrain from the major sins. So major sins, one of them is if someone doesn't fast, for example, in the month of Ramadan, without valid reason, then he is not fulfilling, he is not in number 2. And those who do not pray, praying is false. And if someone does not pray, he has committed a haram. So, and also all the haram things we know is clear. Al-halalu bayyinun wal-haramu bayyinun. We know what the major haram things are. So when a person refrains from the haram and fulfills all the obligatory actions, he becomes level 2 of taqwa, which is called darjah tawbah. Level 2 of taqwa is darjah tawbah. Number 3 is when some people, they refrain from haram, but they have habit of doing minor sins. It's called al-ittiqa'u anis sayyi'at. The 3rd level of taqwa is refraining from minor sins. And minor sins nowadays, for example, most of the people, many hundreds of millions of people now have access to smartphone, internet, and we have the chance to do sin in our pocket. It's so easy nowadays. While we are walking, we are sitting down at home in our bedroom, people can do not only small sins, also big sins. So it's refraining from minor sins, the makruhat, is the highest level, another higher level of taqwa. So those who can manage to refrain from minor sins, Allahu Akbar, their level of taqwa is higher. For example, in the month of Ramadan, the ulama say fasting of 3 types. One is fasting, meaning we fast, just keep away from the things we are not meant to do. For example, eating and drinking and other haram things. Then that's normal fast. However, people also, they fast, but they also misuse their organ. They use their eyes to do haram things. They listen to haram things. So the basic level is just keeping the fast, meaning from food and drinking. And then second level is khas. For example, those people who fast but do not do anything haram with their eyes, they don't say something bad with their mouth or listen to haram things. They are called khas. And then we have the third level, khasul khas. Not only that they refrain from all the unnecessary things, they're always preoccupied with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, always thinking about Allah ta'ala. So in the month of Ramadan, we can try to utilize this chance by practicing the fasting and refraining from, when we say refrain, we refrain from everything, the major sins and the minor sins as well. So that's level 3 of taqwa, and the ulama named it darjat zuhud. And then we have the 4th level, and this is the highest level for normal people like us. That's the maximum we can go, which is called al-ittiqa'u anil mubahati wa shubuhati hazidan anil uqu'i fil muharramat. Meaning, someone refrains from something which is halal or something is doubtful out of fear that they will fall into haram. For example, there is saying amongst us people of Tasawwuf, the four fundamental aspect of Tasawwuf is that qillatul ta'am, eating less, qillatul manam, sleeping less, qillatul kalam, talking less, eating, talking, sleeping less, and qillatu ikhtilati ma'al anam, and mixing with people less. Well, even though talking with people is okay, but why less? Because the more you talk, you might fall into something haram, so they keep away from minimizing this. So this is the darja of wara, meaning even though something which is halal, if you do more, then we can. So for example, if we eating is halal, but if we eat excessively, then we can become lazy, and then that can lead into something not nice. Similarly, if you oversleep, we can become lazy and so on, ghafil, and so on. So this level of wara, the fourth level, is to refrain from halal things. And this mashallah month of Ramadan also is a unique way to train ourselves from this utilizing this training session of the whole month. If someone can train, alhamdulillah, today the first day, we can set ourselves targets that in this month, let's see if we can build up our level of taqwa, because taqwa is a quality in the Holy Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives example with one of the greatest prophets mentioned in the Quran, and the most beautiful surah known as Allah Ta'ala himself words, he puts it in his own word, ahsanul qasas. The beautiful qissa out of all the qissas is the Surah Yusuf. And through Yusuf alayhi salam, Allah Ta'ala mentions two greatest qualities. And the ulama, the mufassirun, they say that if all the qualities mentioned, good qualities that are mentioned in the Holy Quran, if they are accumulated, gathered, they will be summarized into these two qualities. And Allah Ta'ala mentions it through the tongue of Yusuf alayhi salam, innahu man yattaqi wa yasbir. So all the qualities mentioned in the Quran, they are for our well-being for this world and hereafter. So those who wants to be successful in this world and hereafter, all that is necessary and required are found in the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And to summarize all the qualities, Allah Ta'ala says, if you puts them into these two wonderful qualities, meaning if people have these two qualities, they'll be successful in this world and hereafter. To be successful in this world, from these two qualities is sabr. If people are sabr, are patient, then they will be successful in this world. Who doesn't love a person who is patient? We all love them. And if you love someone, that means his life will be easy. People, if you hate, then it's not good for either side. So a person who is patient, who practices sabr, and I don't have time to go discuss more into sabr. Subhanallah, sabr is so amazing. As you can imagine, half of the Quran you can say sabr. And to be successful in this world, we need to practice sabr. And of course, this month, month of Ramadan, where we are fasting long hours, even though we are so, we are hungry and thirsty, we're craving for so many things, we are so patient not to do it. So also our quality of sabr will be improved and developed in this blessed month. And so if we can practice sabr, we will be successful in this life. Our life will become easy. And then the one to become successful in akhirat is taqwa. So these two qualities, if we can maintain and try to improve day by day throughout this month and then continue after month of Ramadan, then our life in this world and hereafter will be successful. So taqwa, the fifth level of taqwa, which is actually the highest level, and nowadays it's quite rare to find people like this. May Allah Ta'ala give us tawfiq to reach that level. And that is also, you can say, the darja ihsan. As our Prophet ﷺ, he answered the question of Jibril Amin when he was asked, Mal ihsan, what is the concept of ihsan? And he said, An ta'budallaha ka'annaka tarahu, fa'in lam takun tarahu fa'innahu yarak. You worship Allah Ta'ala as if you can see him. If you cannot reach that level, then know that Allah Ta'ala is watching you. So the first 4 levels of taqwa, that referring from the shirk and major sins and minor sins and doubtful things and even some halal things, these all are level 1, that Allah is watching me, Allah is watching me, and we can maintain that. Now the 5th level is al-i'radu amma siwallah, that meaning turning away from everything else except always focusing our heart and mind is always focused with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In our heart is always Allah ta'ala. So this is the level which is the highest one, meaning only those who people can reach that level when they can do ibadat as if they can see Allah ta'ala. And this is called darjah mushahada. So the 5th and highest level, the ulama say the great example of this level is the Prophets alayhimus salam and the Siddiqeen, the Ghaus Kutub, the Awliya, the greatest Awliya of this Ummah. And of course, they were in the past Ummah as well, who are, they have, mashallah, reached that level. And our Prophet said, if you can reach a level where you can always refrain from makruhat, if you can keep yourself away from haram and makruhat and even doubtful things, then you will be able to see the angels in the street. They will handshake with you. So as you can see, the prophets, they were sinless. If a person become completely sinless, their ruh becomes so powerful and their heart becomes so clean, they have access to the world of angels. They can communicate with the angels. Our Prophet ﷺ said so. And according to some narration, we find that Hazrat, I believe it's Imran ibn Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu, a Sahabi, he was ill for about 30 years and he refrained. Of course, the Sahaba, they always are very, very careful. And his level was such that because he was always, housebound, like a khilwat, like a chilla, you can say, always doing ibadat of Allah Ta'ala and not going around looking things are unnecessary. Because of his level of spiritualism became so high, just because of continuously worshipping Allah Ta'ala and referring from all that is unnecessary. According to narration, he was, subhanAllah, blessed with a friendship with an angel. And some say once he could not see that angel for 1 week. And after the 1 week, the angel somehow met him and he said, how come I did not see you for 1 week? And then the angel said, because you were unintentionally doing a makruh act. Because he was ill, they burned his skin for a treatment, and this gave a bad smell. And because of that, the angel did not come to him, according to some narrations. So as you can see, the taqwa in the Holy Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. The rank to become honorable to Allah Ta'ala, the criteria is taqwa. Allah doesn't look at our body. Inna Allah la yanzuru ila suwarikum wa a'malikum walakin yanzuru ila qulubikum. Allah Ta'ala looks in our heart. Allah Ta'ala doesn't care who we are in terms of our knowledge or mal and so on. If we have taqwa, then our rank will go higher in the sight of Allah Ta'ala. And according to there's a hadith, and Samura radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he mentioned that Rasulullah said, Al-hasabu al-malu. In dunya, the status is mal, wealth. If you are rich, okay, you have social status. But wal-karam at-taqwa. To be honorable in the sight of Allah Ta'ala is taqwa. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to utilize this great opportunity in the month of Ramadan. One of the great obstacles of practicing taqwa is our sworn enemy, the shaitan. Shaitan is always doing his level best to stop us from reaching or proximity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So shaitan is always stopping us. He's a great hindrance. However, luckily and fortunately, Allah ta'ala stops the shaitan in the month of Ramadan. We have this free zone to utilize this time. And on top of that, Allah ta'ala increased the amount of sawab 70 times. So it is great opportunity for us to practice in the month of Ramadan. So may Allah ta'ala give us tawfiq. I was going to say a bit more, the time will not allow me, because in the Holy Quran we find all the ayat, the taqwa has many other meanings. And for example, there are 5 meanings of taqwa in the ayat we can find, but I don't have the time to go into details. Inshallah, some other time we'll discuss on some other aspect of taqwa. Lastly, I will say that in the Holy Quran, Allah Ta'ala said, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. Now, when a person who is practicing taqwa, if he is fearful of Allah Ta'ala, then what happens to him? One of the benefits is that Allah Ta'ala makes way for him. And the ulama say, makhraja means if he is in a situation, no matter how tight the situation is, Allah Ta'ala will give him some strategies or some ideas or some situation opportunities that he will come out from it. He will end وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبْ, and Allah Ta'ala will provide for him from different sources that he cannot imagine. So may Allah Ta'ala give us tawfiq to attain taqwa, and as Allah Ta'ala says, وَالْعَاقِبَةُ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, or the taqwa as well, and the end result of the muttaqeen and taqwa is great. May Allah Ta'ala give us taqwa. And one of the du'as, quickly I will request everyone try to memorize this, because we can try our best. But the best thing to do is ask Allah Ta'ala to grant us taqwa. One of the good du'as, a beautiful du'a is, Allahumma ati nafsi taqwa wa zakkiha anta khayru man zakkaha anta waliyuha wa mawlaha. You can find this wonderful dua, and I will request everyone, if you can practice this dua as well, ask Allah to give us. It means, oh Allah, give my soul, my nafs, the taqwa, and purify my nafs. You are the best one to give, best one to purify. Anta waliyuha mawlaha, and you are best, and you are the guardian, the best guardian and the best master of my nafs. So you own me, you have all full control. So I beg you to give me taqwa. So if we ask Allah to grant us taqwa, and that is a sign that we are willing. And when we are willing towards Allah Ta'ala, when we are asking Allah Ta'ala, Allah Ta'ala will grant us, inshallah. So we'll practice physically and also ask Allah Ta'ala to grant us taqwa. May Allah Ta'ala give us tawfiq. If there's any question, and we can take it, inshallah. If someone asked a very beautiful question that how can we focus? So one of our Shaykh, Grand Shaykh, his name was Hazrat Badrfuri Rahimahullah. He was asked by someone, Shaykh, how do I easily go closer to Allah Ta'ala, become successful in ibadat, and gain his kurbat? So our Shaykh, our Grand Shaykh Badrfuri Rahimahullah told him, always remember this thing, always think that I am in front of Allah Ta'ala. He's watching me. I am in front of, because you cannot go away from Allah. Wherever you turn, Allah is there. We all know that. So just remind yourself always that I am in front of Allah Ta'ala. The more you think about this, Allah Ta'ala will give us tawfiq to go deeper as well. So if we have this concept, if we have this thinking that Allah Ta'ala is watching, I am in front of Allah Ta'ala. If I'm working, Allah Ta'ala is watching me. If I'm sitting down, if I'm eating, all around. So, and also our salat should give us this. And you will see, if you always think about this, then you will realize that our salat has become more easier now. You can be more focused. So always, not only namaz that Allah is in front of me, all our practical life, when we are walking and talking, if we always remind ourselves, Allah is watching, I am in front of Allah Ta'ala. And this thinking, inshallah, will allow us to become more focused. Someone asked, how can you remain focused because you have random thoughts? This is not easy, actually. Thoughts, especially suppose you are out of salat. When you go into salat, all types of kind of thoughts come in. So it's not easy. And our Shaykh is to say, after salat, if you close your eyes and imagine that Allah Ta'ala is watching me, because of course he's watching, just concentrate, because you have to make effort that Allah Ta'ala is. This is why nowadays people do all types of meditation, because our mind is so amazing. The more we focus, more we train ourselves, we get better, inshallah. So after every salat, the best thing to do will be, after every salat, you sit down for a while and you think, Allah Ta'ala is watching me, I'm in front of Allah Ta'ala. You can just address yourself about what this is called muraqabah as well, or what have I done, where do I stand now? A time will come, I will leave this world, or just go back a few years, then a time was there, I was born. Before I was born, I was nothing. Then a time will come after gradually I will become old, and then I will die. Now this kind of thing, and all that time you think I'm in front of Allah Ta'ala and I'm thinking good. And better is still, you can also synchronize your breathing as well. When you breathe in, you can say La ilaha without moving the tongue and the lips. And when you breathe out, you can say Illallah, and always focus that Allah Ta'ala is watching me. So if you can do that after salat, after every 4 salat, for a few minutes, now we have so much time, mashallah. And we don't have to eat and drink and less shopping. So if you can do that, you'll see, inshallah, our mind, our focus is more stronger. May Allah give us the dua. People are requesting about that dua. Allahumma ati nafsi taqwaha wa zakkiha. Anta khayru man zakkaha. Anta waliyuha wa mawlaha. I think it's also written in the group. And you can find, if you Google it, you can find it. It's a beautiful dua. And there are other duas. I think I would recommend try to learn small duas, short ones, and then keep practicing them regularly. And nowadays we have a good chance to wake up for suhoor, and that moment of time, ask dua to Allah Ta'ala, and this is the best time. And of course, people who are suffering around the world, then now is a good time to ask. In the month of Ramadan, when you are fasting, the dua is accepted. If you can make dua after iftar time, and also make dua for this pandemic, so that Allah Ta'ala can lift it. If we can make all the Muslims around the world make a good effort to make dua, because dua is something very powerful. So I believe if all the Muslims around the world, while they are fasting, make dua for this pandemic to end, inshallah, I believe the process will become more faster. So if there is no question, I will conclude here. Thank you for joining, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to utilize this blessed month of Ramadan, the fasting, and gain taqwa. Jazakumullahu ahsanul jazaa. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
أرضى مولاه بما التزم طوبى للنفس بتقواه